Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pride and honor to present to you the class of 2018. Please remain standing as you are able for our national anthem. Our flag is on the back wall. Audience, you may be seated. Welcome parents. Welcome grandparents. Welcome aunts, uncles, siblings, foster families. Greetings to everyone. A hearty thanks to our faculty and staff. All of us gathered here should be very, very proud indeed that these young people are before us, ready to take wing. Now it is our job to kick them out of the nest. Don't worry, they are ready to fly. Adults in the adult world often ask each other, "What do you do for a living?" And when I tell them I am a high school principal, they often look at me and say, "Why?" They are curious. Why would I want to work with a bunch of teenagers? They've had them in their own homes. They don't understand my job. They're curious about what goes on because they believe, as has been famously observed, that the teenagers of today have bad manners, contempt for authority, show disrespect for elders, and talk in place of exercise. This was observed by Socrates in the 5th century BC. And adults still think these stereotypes about teenagers today. Some of what you might believe about teenagers is true about some teenagers most of the time, and about all teenagers some of the time. They do have moods. They can be a little disrespectful of authority, but you know what? That's part of natural human development. They're developing, they're moving away from adult authority, and they're testing their limits. They're growing their wings and learning to fly. Why would I work with them? Why would any teacher work with them? The answer is seated before you here tonight. We have young people here who have held down full-time jobs while finishing their diplomas. We have future business owners, video game designers. We have future nurses, lawyers, college professors, professional BMX bikers, United States servicemen and women. We have kids who have overcome adversity and strife to be here in front of you tonight. And they've done it all with hard work and 90% of the time, a positive attitude. I, along with the rest of the faculty and staff, have had an honor, the privilege of being a small part of these young people's lives at a critical time in their lives. While they were learning to separate from you, these young people came here and they learned from us. Probably not what we were trying to teach them, but they've learned from us nonetheless. Hopefully, they'll take some of that with them. And when we see them up on the big screen or in the NFL or on the Distinguished Alumni Wall, we will get to say to each other, "We knew you when." Class of 2018, you are remarkable people. You are headed out on a remarkable adventure. Thank you so much for letting me spend time with you. At this time, I'd like to welcome up the chair of the school committee to welcome people with a few more words of welcome. Mr. J. Monette.
Thank you very much, Mrs. York. It's an honor to be here this evening. Thank you very much for the invite. We got a little feedback? Okay. Thank you very much for the invite for my wife and I to be here with all of you this evening. And congrats to the class of 2018. What an accomplishment, what a milestone. Enjoy every second of it. Thank you to the teachers and the administrators. Without you, I'm not sure if they'd be up here. So a huge shout out to the teachers and the administrators. Thank you for everything that you do, the hours that you put in. Thank you to the parents, the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, family. That pushed these young adults to be here tonight, that's given them the motivation to be here. So thank you all very much. You know, I mentioned motivation, and I'll give you a little of my words of wisdom. I'm only 35, but I'm in the real world now. Imagine that. And back when I was in your shoes, I thought I knew exactly what the real world was, but I didn't. And you guys will learn. There's no doubt about it. You're smart enough individuals. Motivation and drive is going to be the key to your success. And when I talk about motivation and drive, it reminds me of a quote. Some people in here might know that I'm a quote guy. I like quotes. It reminds me of a quote that my father used to say, and he bought me a picture of it. And I used to put that picture on my desk in my dorm room. And every morning, I saw that picture, and I heard my father, and I remembered that quote. And at the time, it seemed a little quirky to me, but now I love it. So I will recite it for you. Every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up, and it knows that it must outrun the fastest gazelle, or it will starve to death. Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up. It knows that it must outrun the fastest lion, or it will be eaten. So it doesn't matter whether you're the gazelle or the lion. When the sun comes up, you'd better be running. And there's an individual with us this evening, with a tremendous amount of motivation and drive. This individual can be looked up to as a leader, an educator, and just a downright hard worker. Miss Jody Barraza, she took on a huge job this past year. She took on the job of principal and superintendent. And I don't know if some of you know what that job would consist of, but it's a lot. As a school committee last summer, we made a bold decision to have a change of leadership. I sat down with Jody, and she asked me, she says, "What do you want from me?" And I said, "Jody, you know as well as I do that this district's been unstable for a little while, and I need you to keep our head above water for a year." Jody not only kept our head above water, she jumped in the boat and she sailed it. She had many nights away from her family. She was able to make the hard decisions that she had to make, that she knew was best for the students and was best for the district. She made decisions that may have affected people she worked with that she had to go back as principal and work with. It's a very tough position to be in, and Jody did it, and she did it with class. One thing I know in parallel to my quote, each morning in the Barraza family, in the Barraza home, when the sun came up, Jody was running. So on behalf of the school committee and the district, thank you, Jody, for everything. Good luck with all your future endeavors, and we will be following your career every step of the way. Again, congratulations to the class of 2018. And one last time, thank you so much, Jody.
It is traditional at graduation to hear from student speakers. Please welcome our class salutatorian, Ms. Kaylee Gallagher.
As I'm sure all of us can agree, from any perspective, David Prouty and the Spencer East Brookfield.
You keep talking, I'll fix it. Try.
All right, I'll start over.
Okay.
As I'm sure all of us can agree, from any perspective, David Prouty and the Spencer East Brookfield School District has provided a unique experience. We students, particularly this class, have been through so much together. No matter where we all end up, our time together has prepared us well for the real world. Although academics are the key foundation of learning, I truly believe the most important lessons were learned from experience rather than from a textbook. We've experienced several turnovers of administration, peaceful protest, imbalance, loss, and everything in between. But I'm not here to speak negatively. In light of these events, we have seen union, leadership, perseverance, and strength. I am glad I experienced everything that I have, and I wouldn't want to grow up with any other class. The challenges we have faced together really brought out the best in us. Through everyone I meet, I pick up some sort of quality from them that I feel should be carried on. I genuinely believe that I and everyone else can learn something from every person we meet. To quote Bill Nye, everyone you will ever meet knows something you don't. My fellow classmates have taught me so much more than just what one could learn through homework and tests. They've shown me how to let loose and be more laid back, sometimes a little too much, and to be my true self. Immersing yourself in those around you is the most beneficial means of learning. The diversity of backgrounds and personalities in this school has provided a lesson you can't get from a textbook. And even though I did learn a lot through the academics of Prouty, I truly believe the most important lessons I learned were through my peers. Throughout life, the relationships we build and break help us to grow and discover ourselves more. The legacy we leave is within our relationships, not so much in test grades. I think the most important thing we can do in our lives is keep this mindset and use every experience, good or bad, as a lesson. I am glad we went through a sit-in my sophomore year and had many different administrators in and out of our doors at the beginning of my high school career. These events provided an opportunity for the leaders to shine through in all of us. At times, we were expected, as students, to step up to the plate. I am proud of how my peers have paved the way for the other classes on how to handle problems appropriately and efficiently. When we use everything as a learning experience, not just in academics, but in all of life's obstacles, we are prepared to take on risk in the future for the sake of bettering ourselves. No matter where we all end up, we all learned how to stand up for ourselves and adapt. Every single one of us will take away something different. People tend to decide early on who the smart kids are based on academics. What I have truly seen in my time growing up with these kids is the unrecognized intelligence in every single one of them. Although many often go unseen or unappreciated, I have been surprised daily on the ideas, creativity, and talent held by all of my peers. The wide variety of people represented in such a small class is inspiring. We have artists, musicians, scholars, leaders, athletes, comedians, and everything in between. The small size has allowed everyone to interact closely at one point or another. I hope we all can leave our legacies in each other for years to come. The David Prouty experience has provided all of us with the versatility and confidence to take on the real world. I wish I could find the words to express how grateful I am for all of the lessons my classmates have taught me, and I am confident that they will all thrive in the years to come. Thank you, and good luck to the class of 2018.
I apologize for the technical difficulties we're having with the sound system. We're working on it. I think this might be a little better. Okay, we'll try this. I'd now like to introduce the class valedictorian, Maggie Paul.
Good evening to all parents, family members, friends, teachers, honored guests, administration, and most notably the class of 2018. To begin, I would like to extend a thanks on behalf of our entire class to our advisors, Mrs. McLaughlin and Mr. O'Connor, who managed to stick with us over the last 4 years despite our occasional procrastination, honestly, among other unique quirks. I would also like to thank my parents who have supported me tirelessly throughout this entire high school whirlwinds. And I certainly would not be able to pass up an enormous thank you to each of my peers sitting behind me and next to me. You guys are really what made my high school experience truly unforgettable. This moment would not be complete, though, without a chance to acknowledge the loss of a beloved teacher and friend, Mr. DeLongchamp, who was and remains an integral and loved part of this community. We both remember and honor him on this occasion. Now, I can still remember the first day of freshman year as if it had occurred only yesterday. We had zero idea what we were getting ourselves into on that delightful day. None of us could have predicted that over the next 4 years, Mrs. McLaughlin would be attempting to recruit each of us to join in Marathon, and without cease. For the record, though, Marathon really is fun. We were yet to discover that Mr. Whittemore was actually the sandals guy. Yes, the mandals were sported even in -10 degrees. And he was never far from his grill during tennis season. We were completely unaware that despite the continual turnover in administration that awaited us over the coming years, we would eventually acquire a supportive and permanent administration, perhaps just in time. I know for a fact that the sound of Mrs. York's rather enthusiastic voice over the morning intercom will forever reside permanently in each of our minds. But what we certainly never conjectured in our freshman minds was the unique bonds that would develop between every member of this class by the end of our years here at David Prouty. It is no secret that the class of 2018 is, well, relatively small scale. While some may surmise that being a part of a small class places us at a disadvantage, I would beg to differ. The proof is in the pudding. It's sitting right here behind me and next to me. For a class barely surpassing 60 students, we are pretty diverse. Diverse in thought, belief, backgrounds, interest, and range of dance moves. From Sean's worm at the senior dinner dance to Emily's sporadic mix of interpretive moves, but those occur daily. Each member of this class brings something truly unique to the table. And for such a small class, we do seem to have it all. Really though, we have a weatherman Sage, an animal expert, dead or alive, that's you, Chris, a Spartan race warrior, Haley Joan, and even a well-versed TV show critic, that's you, Owen. And that is just the tip of the iceberg for the diversity in this class. Though we have all been united by the many shared experiences that have defined our time here at David Prouty High School. In this way, the dynamic of our class since freshman year has assisted each of our abilities to handle, befriend, and understand a smorgasbord of people, despite how alike or different they may be from us. Deborah Tannen, a communications professor, once stated, "The biggest mistake is believing there is one right way to listen, to talk, to have a conversation, or a relationship." Going into the future, I hope that you will all be mindful of the vast range of people that you will someday encounter, and those of whom you have already, along with the value that lies within each of those individuals, despite their differences from you. You see, just because Mr. O'Connor can correctly solve a lengthy math equation in his head in 3 seconds doesn't mean that our correct answer using a calculator is any more or less valid. We reach the same goal in the end, don't we? Some of us just barely scraped by to be able to sit here tonight. You guys know who you are. But despite our different journeys to get here today, we still reach the same goal. We will all leave here tonight as high school graduates, won't we? Once we are able to acknowledge and embrace the beauty and diversity of belief, preference, talent, and mode of solving equations, I believe that we can all begin to gain and give substantially more in our personal endeavors, relationships, and goal reaching. With that, I wish you all the very best of luck in all that you do going forward. I know that you are each individually capable of reaching immense heights, even if the path you choose to get there is unlike anybody else's. And perhaps it will come in handy for us all to remember, as Miss Gingras would say, that even when we begin to feel any bit of stress or uncertainty in these crazy days to come, a little bit of yoga and a whole lot of lavender can really go a long way. Congratulations, class of 2018, and good luck to everybody.
Thank you so much, Kaylee and Maggie. Those were excellent addresses. At this time, I would like to recognize some members of the class of 2018 who will be entering the military. Please rise when I say your name. Entering the U.S. Navy, Tristan Colonese. Entering the U.S. Air Force, Eric Reese. And also entering the U.S. Air Force, Derek Ingalls. We are so proud of your choice to serve our country, and I know that many of you plan to serve later on after serving in ROTC and other pre-service programs, and we really appreciate all of your commitment to serve our country as well. Thank you very much. Please welcome Maestro and the band for a wonderful musical interlude. At this time, I would like to welcome Mr. Robert Berthume from the Permanent Scholarship Committee to award the permanent scholarships.
Is it hot in here or is it me? Whew. Anyway, on behalf of the David Prouty High School Permanent Scholarship Committee, I want to thank the class of 2018 and Principal York for having me be here this evening and to celebrate with you, great students. I'll try to cut this short. I had it like maybe for a half an hour or so, but we'll cut it down. We're a committee of about 11 people, and to show Prouty pride, 8 of those 11 people are graduates from David Prouty High School. A little closer? Okay. So since its inception in 1974, we've given over $1,700,000 to the Permanent Scholarship Fund. The committee of teachers and some of the trustees of the committee have chosen the candidates tonight. And tonight, we're going to award 25 students from the class of 2018 scholarships totaling $48,000. That's amazing. So on behalf of the Permanent Scholarship Committee, we'd like to wish you guys and girls best of luck in your endeavors. And if I may, I also like quotes. One of my favorite quotes is, as you go through life, don't look down on people unless you're helping them up. Yes. So let's give out some money.
Thank you in advance to all the donors for these generous scholarships. These will make a tremendous difference in the college affordability for our young people. The FlexCon Scholarship is awarded to Kaylee Gallagher. The Derek Gaudette Memorial Scholarship is awarded to, the Raymond Auger Memorial Scholarship is awarded to Michaela Halloran. The Derek Gaudette Memorial Scholarship is awarded to Connor Scott. The Francis E. and Rachel E. McQuaid Memorial Scholarship is awarded to Magdalene Paul. The Spencer Exchange Club Scholarship in memory of Ray Auger, Christopher Gleason. The Patricia Corson Scholarship, Emily Anderson. The Marie Coyle Memorial Scholarship, Evans Soder. The Patrick Newell Memorial Scholarship, Alice Ordung. The Kelly Houston Memorial, Nicole Willett. The Viola Pizan Memorial, Brian Sarmiento. The John Sobolewski Memorial goes to Jamie Dowd. The Philip DeLongchamp Memorial Scholarship, Jacqueline Bocus. The William Keyes Senior Memorial Scholarship, Hannah Rybicki. The Caitlin Langlois Memorial Scholarship, Karina Radke. The Permanent Scholarship dedicated to Alfred Morin Sr. and Alton B. Cole, Kaylee Perrin. The Gino Waugh Memorial Scholarship, Amanda Pedjo. The Eleanor Small Downey Memorial, Alicia Triggs. The scholarship in memory of Jack McDavitt, Nicholas McNamara. The Lieutenant Colonel Edward R. Perrin Scholarship, Sean Sarmiento. The Morin Family, Alfred Morin Sr. Scholarship, Cassandra Fitzpatrick. The First Lieutenant Mark S. Williamson, U.S. Marine Corps Memorial, Lourdes Morales. The Spencer Cable Access, Norm La Liberté Memorial, Julia Spots. The Elevator Constructors Local 41, Glenn Martin Memorial Scholarship, Tyler Carter. The Philip Quinn Memorial Scholarship, Jacob Gaudet. The McDonald's Ray Kroc Memorial, Nicole Burritt. The Hicks Family, in memory of Gerard Hicks, Alice Ordung. The Monette Family Scholarship, Hannah Rybicki. Barnstorm Cycles and Jeeps, Lamoureux Ford, Michaela Halloran. Webster First Federal Credit Union and Howe Lumber, Kaylee Gallagher. St. Joseph Abbey and the Spencer East Brookfield Teachers Association, Maggie Paul. Mercury Wire and C.R. Wilson Insurance, Emily Anderson. .308 Lakeside and Spencer Agricultural, Christopher Gleason. Lanigan Electric and Burkhume Equipment, Connor Scott. Cloutier Family Scholarship and Heart to Heart, Evans Soder. Cormier Jewelers, Zukas Hilltop Barn, Ahern Equipment, Jacqueline Bocus. Houston Pools, Healthcare Provider, Vision Source, Jamie Dowd. Barnes Enterprises, Pre-Owned Auto Sales, Inc., and Michael Wong from Chef Sal, Nicole Willett. Spencer East Brookfield PTA and an anonymous donor, Karina Radke. E.M. Tebow Excavation, Inc., and Agnesia Shanahan, DMD, Kaylee Perrin. Dairy Queen and Monette Landscaping and Construction, Brian Sarmiento. Greater Worcester County Foundation, Hannah Ribicki. And Greater Worcester County Foundation, Karina Radke. Thank you so very much. Thank you. And congratulations. Free money for college. Don't lose your envelopes. At this time, we have reached the time that everyone has been looking forward to. After this, it's going to go very quickly. At this time, I'd like to ask my assistant principal, Mr. Malone, Superintendent Jody Barassa, and Chair of the School Committee, Mr. Jay Monette, to join me as we prepare the diplomas for presentation. And the first diploma goes to, oh, I might need my cards. Magdalene Snow Paul. Emily Grace Anderson. Michaela Elizabeth Duquette. Kaylee Elizabeth Gallagher. Michaela Catherine Halloran. Jacqueline Michelle Bocus. Christopher Allen Gleason. Hannah Elizabeth Rybicki. Jamie Anna Dowd. Samantha Ann Gibson. Marisa Deanna Voleski. Nicole Tala Burritt. Kaylee Loretta Perrin. Michaela Brianna Harmony Kent. Cassandra Elizabeth Arquette. Alicia Ann Triggs. Karina Radke. Desiree Mercedes Melvin. Madison Irene Kubashik. Amber Rose Vardabedian. Alyssa Lee Holland. Michelle Ann Lamoth. Cassandra Lynn Fitzpatrick. Amanda Cheryl Pedjo. Tiffany Rachel Whitenet. Tristan Nathaniel Colonies. Benjamin William Dean. Chantel Roy Croto. Owen Nathan Heward. Tyler David Earl Carter. Julia Ann Spots. Jada Marie Novia. Corey Robert Connors. Connor Allen Scott. Sage Michael Marianic. Ethan Andrew Shaw. Robert Roy Hallenbrook. Darius Aaron Jones. Nina Angelique Nieves Santiago. Kenneth Jared Feju. Nicholas Ryan McNamara. Eric Matthew DeCarolis. Eric Benjamin Reese. Brandy May Kennedy. Nicole Ann Willett. Rachel Elizabeth Perry. Alice Hope Ordung. Cameron Basut Serrano. Tyresha Joy McFadden. Antonio John Passarelli. Alana Rose Folletti. Haley Beth Doan. Sean Ohm Sarmiento. April Elizabeth Heidenfelter. Kyle Thomas Edwards. Matthew Robert Marino. Daniel Joseph Paradise. Lourdes Catherine Morales Vera. Brian Chaum Sarmiento. Jacob William Gaudet. Evans Anasti Soder. Derek J. Ingalls Jr. Ryan Patrick Anderson. Claudia Elizabeth White. Elizabeth Lee Gibo. Isaiah Samuel Perez. Randy Terrence Nealand. Wait one second. Maggie, would you please have all the graduates rise? Mr. Monette, may I have your permission as chair of the school committee to certify the diplomas that I have signed for these students? Ms. Barassa, may I have your permission as superintendent of schools to certify the diplomas that I have granted to these students? Therefore, students, you are now graduates of David Prouty High School. You may move your tassels from the right to the left. And please stay standing. Stay standing and grab your lyrics because we're going to sing the school song. Audience, the lyrics are on the back of your program. Please stand if you are able. Maestro, are you ready? Let's sing the school song. seated. I hope you all have enjoyed our commencement exercises. Mr. Fazio, I can't see you anymore in the commotion. Will you start the recessional?